Okay. G'day again. Joe from Weedon, Melbourne. This should be working properly now. So I think it's sideways. I'm going to refresh my computer because we just had a couple of problems. And I'll see if this is happening. Is it right? Right way round. Yay, go us. Thank you. Okay, I'm so glad. So let me move my wine out of the way. And probably the candle. I just thought it was something nice to look at. Good old party light candles are amazing. Hi, Roseanne. G'day, g'day. Thanks for watching. Okay, so I've got a new light happening up here, but I'm not sure how the shadow is going to work, so I'll experiment a little bit with that. But generally, I think I'm happy with how it's all happening this time. So, hi, Michelle. Thank you. I'm going to soldier on so that people aren't listening to my waffle too much. Let me just refresh my page just in case. Now, I've taken a card, gosh, I can't talk tonight, a card layout from Pinterest, and it's actually from Tanya Bell. So I'm hoping that I'm going to step it up or change it slightly with some different colours. Oh yeah, I can see now. Fantastic. I'm so glad. So I'm hoping to change a few little things. So I haven't quite worked things out, which seems to be the way that I go. But we'll see how we go. So at the moment, I'm going to be using Painted Poppies, which is one of our stamps from the January to June mini catalogue, or known as the holiday catalogue. And so I loved this Painted Poppies stamp set. There's actually two of them. They go together with some dies and peaceful moments as well. So they're really wonderful. I love the sentiments, and I love the font in this stamp set as well. I think it's really great. So they're the stamps I'm using today. And I've started a little bit because I never know how much to, blah, blah about on a video. So I wasn't quite sure. So what I've done is I have a 9 by 9 centimetre very vanilla piece of cardstock. And you'll see here, I have stamped on it already the main image, or one of the main images from the stamp set. And then I've also stamped onto a post-it note, which turns out wasn't the sticky bit. Go figure. But I'm placing that right over the top and using it as a mask. So the magnets are fantastic. They can just be placed in the right position in order to hold the images in place. And then, now I'm going to have to be a bit strategic about this. I just realised, because I've got ink on here. So what I might do actually is get the wipes. Just going to use some baby wipes and just clean this stamp, just so that I don't end up getting it on the very vanilla. So I'll just do that and dry it off on the side. There we go. Whew, it's a bit hot under this light. So what I'm going to do now is I want it to stand up taller than the other flowers, tall poppy syndrome, as they say. So you can see that I've cut here into the images. So if I show you the stamp here, I've basically cut all of the detail along here so that the stems of this particular poppy will go through. So if I put it down the right way, I can, oh, how am I going to do this? I really want this as well, because I've actually cut that out. I've fussy cut it, but I might have to be a bit, I don't want to be too precious about it, so I'll see how this goes. So you place that on the top there, image side up, because you want this clear, the clear image of your stamp facing up on the Stamparatus plate. So flip that over And this time around I've used Stays On because I actually coloured it before. But for this particular image, you don't probably have to use Stays On because I'm not technically colouring this image. But I'll just err on the side of caution. Oh, there's a few people. Hello, hello. Who can I see? I feel like, I can't think of her name, from Romper Room. I can see Mary and Karen, and I can see you, Kim. Hi, Michelle. How you going? I'm showing my age, aren't I? Okay. So now you can see, I'm going to remove these images, and you can see that it actually appears that the stamp or the image actually goes through the flowers, which is exactly what I wanted. So I'm pretty happy with that. I'm going to remove that. The only thing is I didn't get the bud that comes down along there, but that's okay. I'll work with that. Now I'm going to leave this here in my Stamparatus because if I choose to do this again, it's already correctly placed. Okay. So here is some that I've prepared earlier. I've actually coloured some of these, the poppies. I did 2 of each because I wasn't quite sure how they'd turn out. So, and again, because I'm doing a live, I can't fast forward the colouring in or anything. So I thought I'll just leave that like that. And I've used our Stampin' blends. I go a bit hot and cold with the Stampin' blends. I don't always use them, and then suddenly I'll use them for 2 weeks and then put them away. So I give them a little bit of a colour. You actually don't need a lot because, one, you're going to spread and that can reduce or intensify the colour. But because it's a bit of I don't know what the right word is, because it's not an absolutely perfect stamp, as in image, a perfect image as such, it's got a little bit of artistic, or you can use a bit of artistic flair with it. So I do kind of love that. So here I am saying that I'm not going to do the colouring, and look at me go, hey? So I haven't worked out what I'm going to do with these cards. During the week you may have seen that I've been cleaning up. I've been going through a heap of embellishments and die cuts and all that sort of thing that have been sitting here for quite some time. And I've only made about 115 cards. So I'm pretty happy with that. So while I've had a few days of moping around and feeling a bit sorry for myself, mind you, I do know while we're at home, I understand that completely, but just slowly going a bit insane. I'm quite happy when I look at my card pile and I look at the card set, my card box, my sales box that I will eventually be able to share with people, then it makes me smile. I'm pretty happy with that. So if you can see, I'll lift it up in a moment. I'm just going to colour another particular things. These blends are amazing. As I said, I just think they're wonderful. So using the light and the dark pairs together, and I've got the yellows here because obviously you can do poppies in whatever colour that you like, but I've chosen the Calypso Coral, which is actually not a favourite colour of mine at all, so I thought I'd challenge myself. Because they're alcohol based, you actually blend them together and it's really quite therapeutic. So you use the white to blend it in, and let me stand up so I can see where I'm placing this. So here you can have a look, see? So there's some bits that are really quite blended and there's other bits that are a bit they're a bit separate, and I think I'm just going to leave them like that. I'm not going to touch them up too much because you can actually, if you're using watercolour paper, it's not too bad, but if you're using standard Whisper White or Very Vanilla, it can actually damage your paper, so I don't want to do that. But the point I wanted to make is, see these markings on the back? That actually shows you that you're blending kind of correctly because you're wanting the alcohol to spread within the papers. So you can see down here, obviously because they're smaller images, I've not done that very well, or very much, I should say. But if I was to rub and rub and rub on that one section, say down here where these little areas are, I'd probably damage the integrity of the paper. So yeah, Yeah, only 115, Alison. Thank you. Now, here's the little flower, as I said. And the plan is, I'm not going to do it quite yet because I don't know how it's going to work. But the plan is to cut up my image. So I'll just move all my little bits and pieces to the side. Put the blends over there. So I realised using a piece of cardstock 9x9, I've actually given myself a bit of an equation. And after one wine, it's probably a bit of a challenge. And it has only been one wine, I might say. So I'm just going to have a look at my post-it notes so that I know, and to try and get my maths. So the idea is I've got a 9x9 centimetre piece of cardstock and I want to divide it into 3 pieces. But I'm actually removing a couple of mils each time. So I'm going to cut at 2.9 and 3, and then 2 mils beyond that. Then I'm cutting at 5.9, which is a bit obscure because my piece will actually be cut up by then, and then 6.1. So, with me still? Let's play the game, hey? So this cutter is fantastic for this kind of thing. So 2.9 is quite easy. So 2.9, and then I want to remove 2 mils only. So make sure I keep that in place. Cut. Ooh, that might actually only be 1 mil. Oh, I can't get that out. Let me get that out of there so that it doesn't alter what's happening. So you can see how narrow that slice is. Maybe it is 2 mils actually. So it's fantastic. This cutter is just extraordinary. And then I'm going to do it again. So again, I'll do 2.9. And then remove 2 mil. And be sure to hold your image in place. There we go. And then, let's see how this trick goes. I think I'm going to do them separately. I was going to try and, should I try and cut them all together? 2.9. 2.9. Are we all holding our breath collectively? 2.9. Ooh, okay. Let's see. This will be interesting if I make a mistake, won't it? So, yeah, I am challenging myself. Absolutely, Kim. All right. 1, 2, 3, go. So there's 3 sections. So I'm going to make sure that I keep those in the right order. That's 2.9, and I'm going to chicken out and just do 2 mils each time independently. 2.9, sorry, 2 mils I should have said before, and then 2. So ordinarily I probably wouldn't do this while I'm showing you, but I figured a technique like this needs to be seen so that you comprehend, you know, essentially the maths and the way that it goes. I'm just trying to work out my little image here over there. Oh, there you go. So that's that. So that means this goes there and then this goes there. So I guess I could actually use these, the masking pieces, if I needed help as to what goes where. So let's just remove the rubbish, because you don't want to get any rubbish in this track, because that can impact on the way that your knife goes through that track area. So I do use a craft knife sometimes and just run it through, just to remove, I mean, it's not very much obviously, but just to remove any buildup that occurs there. So starting from the top again, which is what I did with the other pieces, I go 2.9 and make sure it doesn't move when you put it down. And then 2 mil. And I don't know why I'm holding my breath each time, but that's okay. Oh, oh no, it's okay. That's good. I killed that bit, but the rest of it's okay. So that's good. Okay. So there is my image. Now, this is where the magic happens. I think I'm going to use wet glue because I want to be able to sort of move it around slightly. So I wonder if I'm going to work from the top. I might work from the top and then work down. Only because then you've got a point of reference. So these all cut up now, started as 9 centimetres, but it's had 0.6 of a centimetre removed. So 9.4 is remaining, but I've actually got 10 mils here. So what I want to try and have is each block with those 2 mils in between. So it would still be 9 centimetres then, won't it? And this is 10 because I want some space in between. We all want space, especially at this time, right? So here we go. So I guess I have to ask, how's everyone going with this whole social distancing thing? I'm finding I'm missing things. I don't like it when I see, well, I do like it, but you know, if I'm watching a music video or something and I'm seeing people get together and being close, and I think I miss that. That's what I want. It will happen in time. But right now, we need to help our fellow human beings. So I'm leaving this here because I can cut that later rather than trying to make it all balance. I'm just going to leave that there. There you go. So we grid this up. So this is where you can go and make yourself a cup of tea or something if you like. Kayla's still oh, hey Kayla. Are you still working? Oh gosh. Yeah, my centre got closed down last week by our committee. So we would ordinarily be on school holidays. Oh, how did I not cut that up? We would have ordinarily been finishing this week, but our committee shut us down, so we have missed the last week of care. So I started a Facebook group with my parents where they could join should they want to. And I've been singing songs, and I've had co-workers read books in our own backyard, singing songs and everything, so that we can try and continue to be with the children. And I've completely lost where this should have gone. Hang on. Oh my goodness. It's like that, what was that tile games we used to get? They used to have the moving pieces. It'd be a grid of 9, but you'd only have 8 tiles and you'd have to move it around. Makes me laugh. So I've just realised it's already a little bit crooked, but that's okay. I am too. Yeah, so I've been really important to try and remember. I've been trying to remember that it's really important that what we're doing is social distancing. We're not emotionally distancing. So trying to remember people to call, trying to remember, you know, those that I may not have made contact with recently. And it's absolutely a reason to make contact with people that you may not have recently for whatever reason. You know, start up that conversation to ask how people are going. Oh, you're in resi care. Yeah, gosh, that's difficult. Yeah. My uni placement, because I'm doing a certificate in disability and we're supposed to start placements in about a month or so, but that's not going to happen. And, you know, that's okay. It will happen. It might actually extend our course a little bit, depending on how it all follows through. But it's about keeping as many people as we can safe. So there we go. That's how that goes on there. So it's a little bit fiddly. And I think overall it shouldn't look too wobbly when we get it all together. So there's that. Put grease away. So I'm just going to cut this little corner bit off. Sorry, this edge bit. so that we have the same on each side. There we go. I'm not going to go any further because it just won't look right. So now I'm going to measure this bit because I'm going to have a grey piece go across. So that's now, oh, there you go, 9.8. So I'll cut a little piece of 9.8. And I think I'm going to do 1.5 centimetres. Whoop. Okay, so this is going to go along here. And you can choose, I guess, to have it below this line. My line's fairly crooked, actually. Can you see that? This one's a bit higher than that one. You can do it higher, or like what Tanya did. She actually had it up on the bottom here. Up on the bottom, further up than here. So I might do that. Find my tear and tape. And remove all that. So for those of you who are interested, celebration is finishing. Tuesday, I think, is the last day of celebration, which is the last day of March. And that means that the freebie items that you can get and lots of exclusive products that you can only get during celebration time is available on those days until then. So be sure to contact your demonstrator or me if you don't have one, and we can organise an order to be delivered straight to you. Stampin' Up warehouse and Stampin' Up the business in Sydney are certainly still operating at this stage, so you can certainly place an order and have that sent straight to you. And if needed, we can organise a FaceTime or a Zoom meeting or something like that, and I can assist you with mounting your stamps and that sort of thing. So there you go. I've got that on there. So now I need a sentiment, which I put too far away. I have decided to use Life is Better with a Friend Like You, because I think I've just decided I'm going to spill the envelopes all over the house. I'm going to send this to somebody that needs a bit of a smile, I think. So using basic grey and the old material ink, I'm going to make sure that I've got my stamp around the right way. Yep, there you go. And this is a really good stamp. I'm going to stand up so that I can stamp it properly. This is a good stamp because it actually takes up the whole space. Ooh. I'm just trying to make sure that I get it all lined up properly. Here we go. How are you finding the lighting? I'd be interested to know with that as well. Only because it's a new light that I scored. And so I'm interested to hear what you think about it. Is it casting too much of a shadow for you? There you go. So Life is Better with a Friend Like You. That's relatively straight. I'm happy with that. And then I have used a strand of the burlap ribbon that I pulled. Oh, I've got pins and needles in my foot, in my leg. Hi, Mandy. Hi, Sue. G'day, g'day. So all I'm doing here is wrapping this around a couple of times. Now you can keep it straight. You can cover it if you like, or what's the word? Overlap, if you like. It's completely up to you. So Mandy, I was saying that this design is actually a Stampin' Tee from Tanya Bell. So I can't take all the credit. She did hers in Real Red, I believe. And so I've decided to try with Calypso Coral, which is such a different colour for me. Calypso Coral and So Saffron are two colours that I really struggle with. So it's amazing what a week of being locked away can do for you. It has made me push my boundaries. So I'm just going to grab the grey because I don't think I did. Here we go. And then we'll finish the front of this card. So what I like to do as well, and I'll do it for this video as well, I don't ordinarily show you, I don't think, is what I choose to do on the inside of my card as well. Because I think it's nice to dress up the inside also. So while I've got the cutter out, I'll do that and I'll get some vanilla. Here we go. So I had someone message me during the week confirming my measurements of my cardstock, because I start off with, what do I start off with? 21 centimetres by 14.5, and then each mat goes down by 0.5 centimetre. And I just automatically know, whoops, look at that. I automatically know that if I'm working with a 0.5 centimetre one way, it's going to finish with a 0.5 centimetre the other way. So 10.5 by 14.5, or 10 by 14, for example, because that's just the way the maths works. So here is my basic grey card base, and I'm going to place that on here, just centering it. There you go. And suddenly when you put it on the grey, it steps it up a little bit. There you go. I'll give this a good score. I will I'll write all the, you know, the stamps and everything when I gosh, I can't talk. When I edit the video, when I write the names and everything on the top of it, I'll put the details of the stamp sets as well. Okay, so the thing I was trying to say to you, and what my ladies love each fortnight when I do my classes, is finishing the inside of the card and finishing the envelope as well, because then it's a whole package. It looks really nice. I never used to, but my upline taught me that it's a finished product. So while I've got it open, I thought I'll show you this now. Put that down. Place your vanilla on the inside so that you've got the continuity of the colours and the consistency of your design, I guess. So I would probably use, where's my poppy image? Oh, it's on my Stamparatus, isn't it? What I might try and do, I'll move it because it's not too difficult. Excuse me reaching over. So I'm going to use a good old post-it note when I've already mounted my cardstocks. Good old post-it note helps. And I'll just put that there like that. Now I could colour it in, or I could just let it stand for what it is by itself. I think I might just leave it for the moment. But the one thing I did want to show you, while I sit down again rather than being under that hot lamp, and I have to open a pack of dimensionals, I'm sorry. What I do want to do is place this on here, but I did realise, oh no, it should cover, that's okay. So I'm going to use the big ones actually, because, and I'm not going to be able to find them because I've done 110 stamps, cards I mean, and I may not have a full packet page open, and I can't reach them. I'm not going to go into my workshop toolbox at the moment, so I'll just leave that. So I put that on there because then I can place it in the right way. And I often like to look over my work, as in stand above it. There you go. So that adds a little bit of dimension to it, literally. Hi, Wendy. Howdy. Who said that they... Oh, Rails. Oh, Rails. Hey, you do your cards like that, 14 by 10. Yeah, that's right. Maybe we were taught by the same person, hey? By Mel. So I did colour in the leaves as well because I wasn't sure. Do you think that could go there? No, it's going to look a bit daggy because it's covering. No, I'm just going to leave it like that, I think. Just leave it like that. I could possibly add some pearls or something to it, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. So really the only thing I've stepped up from Tanya's, and if you want to, you know, obviously go on Pinterest and have a look at her design, the only thing I've changed or stepped up, or not really even stepped up, is that I've raised this poppy and I've changed the colour a little bit. But that's what the beauty of casing is all about. I could choose, I guess, to use this on the inside and just give it a... Oh, I think I like that, actually. Sorry, did you hear that noise that came out of me? Ooh. I think I might do that. Just put a tiny bit of glue down. And then... Yeah, I am super happy with that. There we go. Completed. Love it. So if you sat there and cut everything out initially, you'd have to do each particular image block separately, obviously, because if you mix it up, you mightn't get, you know, the lines lining up properly and that sort of thing. That'll irritate you. And then I just cut the other one out for the middle as well. So I'm super happy. Oh, Rails, if you get the opportunity, it's a great stamp set to buy. I think it's just so beautiful. And I didn't know until our on-stage image event last year that poppies actually have various meanings depending on what colour they are. So red obviously is fallen servicemen and women. And purple I learnt, because I love purple, everything that I've got, or a lot of things that I've got are purple. The purple poppy actually represents animals that have fallen during war times. So I found that really intriguing as well. And obviously, I was going to say daffodils, but they're yellow and they're not poppies. So that's a little bit different. So if you so desire, please share my page and my video. Ask any questions. As I said, I'll add the dimensions and the products that I've used. And if there's anything I can help you with, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm going to attempt to come back another time before next Friday, but the weeks sort of just flow along nicely, and I'm sure I'll end up cleaning the pantry or something and getting a bit bored. So we'll see what comes up and what happens. Please have a safe week. Look after yourself, your families and your neighbours. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks for your time. Bye.